eye was bleeding, like right there, and there's a cut down. At 10 o'clock at night, we don't want to do completely 100% from scratch cookies. Hey, this is hard. This is part of running your own business that is hard. It is almost 10:30 at night and we're making peanut butter cookies for an event we're having tomorrow at church. These are the cookies Sophia picked out, and I'm letting her be in charge mostly. They are semi from scratch. So those peanut butter cookies are semi from scratch. At 10 o'clock at night, we don't want to do completely 100% from scratch cookies, but we just decided to use this tonight, and so far they smell really good. I'm gonna try not to eat any, but I let her pick something that she wanted to make for our event tomorrow, and this is what she chose to make tonight. And we had a lot going on tonight, a lot. So I think I sat down for 10 minutes a while ago. I've been up all day, and we had some good things happen. Our son got a new mattress tonight, so it was kind of sort of last minute. My husband did some work for someone, and we traded the work for the mattress, and I'm sure you see that right there. Those are all the eggs we've used this week. That's the shells. I'm saving those and just letting them dry out. The sun comes in the windows, and I was just gonna let them dry out. I may have to spread them out on a plate, I'm not sure, but crush them up and put them in the garden and give them back to the chickens. Anyway, are you having fun cooking, Sophia? And yes, we are cooking in a princess dress tonight, aren't we? All right, you did a good job on the crisscross on those cookies. Now let's get them stuck in the oven. Sophia's finishing up her cookies. We got the first batch out of the oven, and she's fixing to put the next batch in. And I myself am making a cheese ball. I've got a recipe. I'm sure you've heard of this lady. If you don't have this book, you need to get this book. It's got great recipes in it. Brenda Gant. She has a YouTube channel and a Facebook page that you can look at, and this cheese ball is called the Anna cheese ball, A-N-N-A, Anna cheese ball. So you could look that up on her page. It's really easy. I'm not gonna show you how to do it because she does that on her Facebook page. But all you need is 3 blocks of cream cheese. And you've got to have 4 green onions and ranch seasoning to make ranch dressing or dip. All I could find was the seasoning for the dip. And then you put garlic and black pepper in it. But if you want to know how to do it, look her Facebook page up and just search for cheese ball, Brenda Gant, something like that. Or look at her Facebook page. And she's got 2 cookbooks, but I think I like this one the best. It's her first one. It's just got simple recipes in it, Southern recipes using things that you probably already have around your house. Oh yeah, you also have to have pecans for this as well. So we decided to move the mamas back over here with the lambs instead of us moving the lambs to the other pasture. It's a little bit early to be putting them back together, but we have a reason for doing that. I don't know if I've introduced you to Sirloin yet. He is the cow we have. He's a Jersey steer that we have. He is over in the bigger pasture, which is over where you see the horse back there. That's the bigger pasture we have. He and the mamas were in the same pasture together, and he's getting a little bit too rough with the ewes. As a matter of fact, one of the ewes has a cut on her face, so we decided to go ahead and move them back over here. We have the cow, so that we do plan to butcher him later. Okay, y'all, I haven't even brushed my hair today. I just put it back, so pardon me. I usually try to make sure I've got makeup on and my hair fixed and all that when I do a video, but just real life, that's not going to happen all the time. So anyway, there's a lot of gnats flying around too. We have the cow. We bought him from some friends that we have, and we're just raising him to have him butchered. And so we've got probably another year or so left to feed him out. In fact, I'll walk over here. I know you've seen him on some of our videos. I just don't know if I've actually introduced you, so go do that now. Okay, here, this is Mr. Sirloin. This is our big pasture. I mean, it's just probably, what, an acre and a half, maybe? I'm not sure. To me, it's always really hard to measure acreage just by looking at it. I don't know if you can tell, there's actually, I'll walk down the road one day and show you how it's laid out. Of course you see there's a little hill there, a little valley, not that big, and then up over that little hill there's a pretty deep valley that goes down and then back up. So anyway, this is where the horse and cow, this is where the mamas were, and we were actually planning to move the lambs over here with the moms to let the other pasture rest and to let the grass grow up a little bit. But Mr. Sirloin changed our plans. Later today, if I can get a video of the sheep and her eye, it's like the corner of her eye was bleeding, like right there, and there's a cut down. Now it's not a deep cut, it wasn't bleeding, it's just like, it might have been bleeding at one time. I don't know how long ago this happened, but anyway, you can see the cut down her nose like that. We don't have cross fencing and things like that. We do have cross fencing, but only enough to make 2 pastures, and then our garden space. He's got those horns, and he likes to chase the sheep, and he actually kind of bothers Beauty as well, but she can take care of herself. I think she has basically shown him who's boss. And we've got to get some Ultra Boss. That's what we normally use. We haven't put any on our animals yet this year. We do need to put that on him because I see the flies are just driving them nuts. He's got a really big belly. He's been wormed. I don't know if that's normal. Anyway, so he is kind of bullying. I don't think to be mean, just to play the sheep. So we put the mamas back over in the other pasture for now. We may just have to do that this year. Just leave the horse and cow over here and maybe put them over here at short spurts of time. But those horns can really do some damage to the other animals. So that's why we have the moms back with the babies. I think they're basically weaned. They may still try to nurse a little bit. And the mamas, they'll push them away. The mamas can wean the babies by themselves. And since we just have a small flock of sheep and we raise them for ourselves mostly, I'm not worried about It's just not really that big of a deal for us to wean them at a certain time. And Mr. Sirloin, he's pretty friendly. In fact, he's too friendly, really. When we go in the pasture, I don't even go in the pasture because he likes to come up and play with you. And I've got to get used to doing that. This is some bushes that my husband brought home from a job. They've been eating the greenery off of it. So I was at home cleaning out our dog pens, and I got a phone call that Eli had a flat tire. So he was on his way to a job, and he has to do school at night a lot because since we run our own landscaping business, he and my husband do all the work, and our oldest son helps when he can. So anyway, they called me. I was in the middle of cleaning out a lot of nonsense out of our dog pens, and my husband called and said Eli was on the side of the road. Luckily, or thankfully, he had a parking lot to pull over into, because the highway that he is on, I don't know if you can see the traffic going behind me, it's just a 2-lane highway. It's really busy. So I'm so thankful that he had a parking lot to pull off of the road and not just stuck on the side of the road. He's also pulling a trailer, which is, even worse. So there's so many things to be thankful for right now. He did not have a blowout. He could have. The tires aren't that good on his truck. He could have had a blowout. He could have been in a spot where he could not pull over very easily. There's a lot of places on this highway that you cannot pull over. So the Lord provided a parking lot for him to pull over, and we've got jacks and we've got a donut spare tire that he can use to get back home. Anyway, you never know what's going to come up. That's something that's been kind of hard for us to get used to with running our own business. Is first of all, our school schedule is hard, and then secondly, you have the best intentions and have the best laid out plans, and something like this happens and you can't ignore it. You have to stop what you're doing and take care of it. So my husband's making a phone call right now to see if one of our local tire shops has a tire. But anyway, we're working on getting it resolved and just praying that we get it resolved in a timely manner so they can go ahead and continue the work that they had planned to do today. Okay, they got the tire off and we are about to head out. I've got my orders. I gotta take this tire to the tire shop, drop it off. He won't be able to get to it till tomorrow. And they're gonna go, well, he's gonna limp home actually, so we're gonna follow him home. And then he's gonna hop in the truck with my husband, and they're gonna head on to do a few other jobs. Not the main job that my son was gonna go do today, but a few other jobs. Well, today's Tuesday, and it is about 6 o'clock. We have been working our butts off today. We all pitched in today, even Sophia, to help with the landscaping company that we have. I actually didn't do any landscaping. I cleaned a house, which, oh, sorry about the lighting on that. I'm sitting outside at the property that Rusty is still, I don't know if you can hear the lawnmower in the background, but he's finishing up. He had to do mulch and this is a very steep property, so just to mow the grass is kind of a big deal here. So he's been working for a couple of hours. He was working on another job earlier today. It hasn't been the best of days today for him. Also, a holiday is coming up. Memorial Day weekend is this weekend. So everybody wants their yard mowed and everybody wants it to look good for the holiday. And also he has a church event to go to this weekend. He and Eli do. It's just so much this 1 week trying to fit everything in. He's got another big job he's working on, plus mowing all the lawns in between. So anyway, today I cleaned a house for one of his customers. So here he comes. I'll get off the video now. So now we're at another property on the water, and this property is probably harder than the other property. This is actually the big cleanup job. I really don't know if you can hear me. Just checking to see if that's on. I'm just here seeing what I can do. We really need to get this done and tomorrow and no later than Thursday. I just don't know if it's going to happen though. I don't know if you might not be able to tell. Keep putting my hand in the camera. It's really steep. You can't tell how steep it is from the video. Trust me, it's steep. Anyway, we're still working and it's getting dark. And just all hands on deck. My oldest son's working, trying to help us get it done. Sophia was here throwing sticks in the water, trying to get sticks out of the yard. And I'm not sure there's a whole lot more we could do right now. Just basically be here for moral support or go get something if they need something. So anyway, this is hard. This is part of running your own business that is hard. Really, all of it's hard. But we're hoping to get better at it and grow our business to where we can actually hire employees. That's another thing. We've got several properties, but we don't have any employees. We're not really at the point where we can hire employees and pay a good wage for an employee. So that's another issue we have. Anyway, I better stop videoing so I can get back to work. Okay, I know it's dark, and I don't know if you're quiet. If you listen hard, you might hear the leaf blower still going. They're still at it. Sophia and I are gonna head home. It's 8:30. We're gonna stop and get something to eat, or not to eat, stop and get something to cook that's quick. Probably pizza and fries. And so we can have that ready when they get home, because I imagine they'll stop in the next 30 minutes and head home.